Good morning. It's the Gangsta Garden, my new business and nursery. Here's the paperwork to prove it that I'm working on it. We're almost there. I wanted to wait until at least October, but here we are, end of November, and I'm finally doing the paperwork to get the nursery, my native plant nursery, up and running. And it's really exciting. I'm really excited. I'm a little terrified too, but I wanted to start doing videos to keep me on track, to make sure that I stayed accountable. If you know me at all, you know I'm really good at side quests, like shiny thing, and I will follow it and then get distracted and not do what I was intending to do in the first place. So this is me holding myself accountable today. That being said, I also have notes because I'm trying to be very intentional today. And again, no side quests. Well, okay, maybe a few, but not like I normally would do if you have a conversation with me. So the native plant business is something that's developed over the last 2 years. A lot has changed in the last 2 years for me personally and professionally. Native plant business, I'm going to be selling local native plants in my area, particularly milkweed. That's my jam. I really love monarch butterflies, so that just goes along with it perfectly. I'm also going to be selling microgreens. I'm growing them for myself right now, and I have some friends that are my guinea pigs that I'll be sharing them with so that they can give me some feedback. Do they like them? Do they not like them? You know, all the things with microgreens that I'm learning. They're growing in my basement right now. And it's just one of those things I said, let me try this. I did it a few years ago for myself and it didn't go so well. Now that I've done a lot more research, I understand why. So I'm hoping to sell seeds, herbs, maybe cut flowers. I'm going to be hopefully at the local farmers market. That's what I'm looking to do. That's my plan. And I'm really proud of myself. I can say that. I am proud of myself for getting here. It hasn't been easy. And if you know me, which some of you do, you know it's been a long, hard road. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. So I have my notes to help keep me on track. I'm going to answer plant questions on here. I'm going to give planting and plant advice. I also do consulting with people. I do installations of gardens. I've been doing that for the last several years for clients. They just kind of pop up and, hey, can you help me? Sure. So that's kind of become a thing for me now. You know, my body sometimes at my age says, you probably shouldn't do that. Or you've done a little bit too much of that this week. So as a gardener, if any of you are gardeners out there, which I hope you are, I hope some of you are, and I hope that's why you're here, but I hope you stay here for other reasons as well. You know, it's hard on your body. So I'm trying my best to take care of my body and keep it healthy, but still do the things I love to do, which installing gardens is one of them. The plants are the huge thing for me right now and will be for the rest of my life, I'm assuming. But this place is also going to be for us to talk about relationships, because if you know anything about plants, they have relationships. They have underground networks of roots that support each other, that give each other messages. Trust me on this. There are books that I can suggest to you that backs it up with science. It's not just me saying, oh, hey, this is what's true. No, there's a lot of science and research behind it. And you will find that I will use science and research to back up claims or to debuff them. So depending on what we're talking about. So we're going to talk about relationships with our parents, relationships with our kids, relationships with our grandkids, maybe, relationships with our friends. Listen, huge shout out right now to my friends. Many of you have stuck with me, and I know it hasn't been easy. I just want to say thank you. You know who you are. Okay, I'm not going to cry. I am not going to cry. I'm not. Although, okay, side quest. I've been doing research on trying to start a YouTube channel for a long time. And you can go down these rabbit holes. And there's all these, do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that. You know, you'll kill your channel if you do this. Well, guess what? I'm not here for all that. One of the things that I learned from one of those videos that was super informative, but made me feel really bad about not doing editing yet, was talk like you're talking to someone you care about. And I thought that was really great advice. So literally sitting here, I'll show you. I have a picture of my parents. And I'm just really lucky to have had the parents I did that taught me so many things. And I'm hoping to also pass those things on to you. You know, the relationships that we come across our entire lives, they change and they shift. And some end and some flourish. My probably one of my longest relationships in this world has been with my former husband, my former spouse, and married 28 years. You know, 2 years ago, this room I'm sitting in was completely different. It was empty. I had just moved in Thanksgiving weekend, and that's where we're at. It's Sunday of Thanksgiving weekend, 2025. And 2 years ago, I was sitting here unpacking boxes, crying, drinking, talking to friends for support, because it was the first time I'd ever come and lived by myself. Even though I'm an only child, it was the first time in my life that I actually lived alone. And I was scared in a lot of ways, but I was also really heartbroken when I realized my marriage was over. And you're never going to hear me bash my former husband. You're not. Did we have struggles? Absolutely. Absolutely. It wasn't either one of our faults. So, 2 years ago, I moved into this house. The walls were a different color. There were none of this was here. This couch wasn't even here. I had to order this couch, and that was a freaking fiasco. But when I turn around and I see how far I've come in 2 years, I'm thrilled. I really am. And I told my daughter the other day, my adult daughter, I said, I'm the happiest I've ever been. Ever, which I think is huge. I do. I think it's huge. And I think it's also hard for us to say as adults. Like, here I am in my 5th decade of life. I'm 54. And saying, wow, I didn't know what long-term happiness felt like. And it took me a really long time to get here. Trust me, this did not happen overnight. None of that stuff happens overnight. But I was willing to take a lot of chances. And I was really willing to not be happy, to not be sad anymore, to find happiness. And if you've ever heard the song by Billie Eilish, the Barbie movie song, What Was I Made For? She talks about how she's not happy, but she thinks she can be happy. Every time I used to hear that song, it used to make me sob. I mean, snot, everything, sobbing. Now I listen to it and I go, wow, I do know what it feels like to be happy. So I'm going to take you on a journey with me through plants, through relationships, through jobs and careers. By education, I am a teacher. I no longer teach in a classroom. Thank God. And okay, small side quest. My teacher friends, I cannot give you guys enough credit for what you do on a daily basis. And I know this week coming up is going to be tough. It's your first long-ish break. Coming back tomorrow on Monday to the classroom, it can be really hard. And I just want to say I think about you guys all the time. I'm really thankful I'm where I am, not in the classroom, because it was really hard for me. Being in a classroom was really restrictive for my personality type. I've learned that. Sorry for the obnoxiously large coffee cup. It's not coffee technically. I have chai tea in here, but Mom, I love this thing. It retains heat. It holds a lot of tea. My chai latte that I made myself today because it's a special day launching this channel. So I decided I needed special tea. And it's from my kid. I mean, but I know it's kind of large and obnoxious, but that's all I'm going to say about that. So a lot of what I'm going to be doing here is talking about starting over. Starting over no matter how old you are, and it being okay. People may look at you like you're crazy. Can I tell you how many people think I'm nuts for doing all the things that I do right now? And how my life has shifted and where it's brought me. It's been really exciting and cool, but terrifying at the same time because there is no safety net anymore. And I'm winging it. Every day I'm winging it. But I'm also finding what I'm capable of. So I'm so excited to take you on this journey with me with the new business and kind of talking about stories. Just if you know me, you know I love to tell stories. Hence side quests. So that's just kind of where we go from here. I want to read you something. I'm going to leave you with this for today. You know, I prepared for like 3 weeks to do this video and it did not go the way I thought it was going to go. But I like to try to do quotes. This is actually a passage. I have it standing in my doorway. So if I come through the front door, I see it every day. And I got it when I was on a girls' weekend 2 years ago. A place called Lily and Sparrow. Super cute place. I got several things from there, but this is probably my favorite. So by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I'm not sure where this passage is from, but it's something I'll find out now. For what it's worth, it's never too late, or in my case, too early to be whatever you want to be. There is no time limit. Start whenever you want. You can change or stay the same. There are no rules to this thing. Thank God, because I hate rules. Rules suck. We can make the best or the worst of it. I hope you see things that startle you. I hope you feel things you've never felt before. I hope you meet people who have a different point of view. I hope you live a life that you are proud of. And if not, I hope you have the courage to start all over again. I'm going to leave you there. Happy Sunday. I hope the week going forward is positive for you. And I'm going to try to be posting at least once a week, perhaps more, if I can get out of my head with trying to have the perfect video, maybe I'll be able to post more often. Because I have a lot I want to say and I want to hear from you. So if you're here, say hi below, or ask me a question if you have a question. I would love to connect with you and form a community of people who maybe they want to start over and they're terrified to, or maybe they have started over and they failed again and they failed again, and maybe they were successful. But I don't think that any of it's a failure, to be honest. I feel like it's complete learning curve for all of us. And I think that if you keep learning and you keep putting yourself out there, that it can be really valuable to other people. So I appreciate you taking the time to sit with me today and hear me out just a little bit. And I'm really, really excited to take you on this journey with me. Have a great